Okay, YouTube. Today I'm gonna talk to you about aliens. I had an experience. That was in 2009 in the summer. It happened in the north of England, and it was a really warm summer, and we were staying at a local park. This was a student village area where, during the hot nights of the summer, some of the students and me and a few friends, we would go and camp near the local lake. And now my friends didn't know anything about this, but it was just me that experienced the whole thing. I did come across a video on YouTube. Someone was saying that you can conjure, which I don't remember it now. It's been many years, but anyways, I did what the guy said in the video, and he said, just say this phrase before you go to sleep at night, and then they will come to you within 24 hours. I didn't believe it. I mean, I thought he was just messing about. So I did as he said. Then I went to sleep that night outside. Like I said, we were sleeping in a tent. So I had my own tent. Actually, I was on my own, and I was a bit further away from the others. But that doesn't matter. The others were completely oblivious, and so I went to sleep. Nothing happened. I get up the next morning. I must say I was completely sober. I didn't have a drop of alcohol or any drugs involved or any of that. I was absolutely sober. And it was about 3 a.m. Yeah, something like that. Because I remember when I woke up, I looked at my watch. So while I was still asleep, I suddenly felt as if my eyes were open, when in fact they weren't. I felt like I was coming into consciousness from a deep sleep, and suddenly, through my third eye probably, I saw them. There was 5 or 6 of them in a line. It felt as if my eyes zoomed in to look at them closely. I had no control over this. They ranged from, so there was 4 or 5 small ones, and there was one tall in the middle. They had really dark, leathery skin, kind of like dolphin skin. But the most peculiar thing about it is that there was no light reflecting their skin, and it was like, how do I put this? It was like they were standing in a circle of dark matter. It was like there was no light at all inside of them or around them. Very, very strange. You know what I mean? The only light that was coming from them, it was emanating from their eyes. They had big heads, big round heads, just like, I don't know if you're familiar with J-Rod. when they describe this alien being that has been kept in the area 51 secret military base. They say that this alien being has been kept captive for the last 50 or 60 years or so. And the way people have described it is very similar to those beings that I witnessed. Well, I guess J. Rod was a benevolent being. Those that I encountered were absolutely malevolent. They gave me a deep sense of hatred. They tried to suffocate me. The second one on the left was the one that emanated blue light from its eyes. It had really big bulging eyes, and it was like two rays of blue light emanating, and it literally transferred information through its eyes, through this blue light. It was all, like psychically communicating with me. They didn't speak, they didn't open their mouths at all. All of the information that was coming from them was through their eyes. So it was the information came in the form of a feeling, because through my emotions, I felt this information. So they gave me a very deep sense of hatred for humans and for the entire planet. It felt so alien, this feeling, that I could not comprehend it. And at that point was when I actually really struggled to wake up. I felt as if something was suffocating me. I felt as if there was a hand pressing down on my chest. And I felt that there was an immediate threat, and I just had to wake up from this nightmare. And I remember saying, "Oh my God, oh my God." And at that point was when I actually managed to open my eyes physically. And I got up, I stood up straight away. I gasped for breath. I mean, I really struggled to breathe at that point. I coughed a bit, and then I looked all around me. I cleared my eyes, and there was absolutely nothing there. They were just gone. It was like they had never been there. All the other tents around me were completely undisturbed. None of my friends, no one realized what happened. It was just me that had experienced the whole thing. And I even questioned myself. I thought, wait a minute, did that actually happen? Or, what was this, It took me a while to actually process. It took me a lot of time to articulate it. I didn't tell anyone about it, because everyone would think I'm a nutcase, you know what I mean? And so the most peculiar thing about it after I woke up was the fact that it felt as if I had just experienced a sonic boom, because my ears were blocked. It is just like when you're in a flight and you're feeling the atmospheric pressure and your ears get blocked and you cannot hear a single sound. That's exactly how it felt like. It was as if someone had just removed the sound from the area. I could not even hear the leaves from the trees, because there was a slight breeze, and you hear the odd car passing by. I mean, even though it was 3 a.m., there is still some sound around you. But at that point, it literally felt as if someone had sucked the air out of the area. So there was no sound at all, and I needed a good 15 minutes to actually recover from this. And everything turned into normal again, and I went to sleep again, and I woke up the next morning in the daylight, and I literally felt that this was all a fantasy. I mean, I literally doubted myself. I questioned myself because it's very hard to process such a thing. You know what I mean? And that was a good few years ago when people still hesitated to talk about their experiences with alien beings. Now, these days, it becomes more and more common, it becomes more popular. You know, people are coming to the front and they talk about it all the time. And so it's a lot easier to articulate all of this now. But at the time, you know, it was very difficult. And for the upcoming weeks after that experience, I remember that there was lots of sightings in that area in particular, like in my town where I was staying at the time. That was the northwest of England. And I remember the local newspaper literally having loads and loads of articles every single day about people giving their testimonies about sightings of UFOs. So this is when I began to, I became really familiar with the fact that what I experienced was actually real, and that it's not just me, maybe it's others as well, because there was loads of activity all around, and there was people saying that they had seen strange lights in the sky, and it was all, there was a lot of activity, a lot of movement going on. Now, for the next 3 months after that, I was seeing those lights in the sky on a daily basis. I mean, it became like a common thing to the point that I wouldn't pay attention to them anymore. Now, you might say that those lights, okay, they could be anything. It could be drone, tell us everything. So I don't know how much the British government is keeping from the people, but I know that America is a whole another story, because they do keep a lot of stuff from the people and they don't want you to know the truth. But anyways, I used to do this route every day, where I used to go from the town center to the student village, and I used to walk straight through the park. This was another park, actually. And every time I would walk through the park, something was urging me to look up at the sky, and I would see those lights. It was like they were performing a light show. It was like the lights were dancing in the sky. They were forming patterns. They were forming triangles, pentagons, hexagons, and they would move as I was moving as well. So I kept seeing those for 3 months. And at the same time, I felt that my psychic abilities were being heightened a lot, because I am naturally psychic. And like I said, I'm an empath, and I'm very intuitive. So if there is any paranormal activity, anything metaphysical, I can feel it much more than others do around me. So yeah, that was my experience with alien beings. It didn't feel as if they were physical beings. It felt like they were spirit beings, that they can take any form, they can shapeshift, it depends on the density, it depends on the thickness of our atmosphere, and how much they can manipulate the electromagnetic field. But they have the ability to do that, and it's pretty scary. It was absolutely terrifying, actually, because they gave me this insight into how much they hate people. I don't know why. I didn't ask any questions. I didn't have any sort of dialogue with them except for, the information that they gave me. And I could not understand after that why they would hate this planet so much. Through the years, I have also experienced in humans, and they have prevented lots of disasters from happening on this planet. So these are the good guys, you know what I mean? I'm gonna talk about them on another occasion. But those little bastards that night, they really shook me up. And I hope no one ever gets the chance to meet them. And then, I remember that I found this conjuring up thing through this guy on a YouTube video, and then I looked it up again and I could not find the video. It was nowhere. He had removed his video, he had removed his channel. I don't remember what the guy was called. I don't have that YouTube account anymore because I had not logged in for a while, and then they removed it. That was years ago. And I have no idea how he knew that information and how he managed to conjure them up. I mean, how did he find out about it? But it worked for me. And I thought, if it is that easy, then we are in deep trouble, because it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be like that. Anyways, I have been much more aware now of these things, and I'm always very cautious in my magical workings. I always do protect myself from psychic attacks, from any sort of attacks. And it's a good thing that they have not visited me again. And I always hear people saying they get very excited about this whole alien subject, and the oblivious ones. And they always say, oh my god, I really wish I had that experience. Oh my god, I really want to meet some aliens. It's so exciting. I want it. But trust me, you don't want this to happen to you. You're going to be traumatized. It's not pleasant, and you might not even be prepared for it. People need to understand that there is some real this human civilization. But like I said, there is also some really nice guys out there that are looking after us, and we should be grateful for that, and we should be praying to them, such as angels, archangels, light beings, positive light beings. So, yeah, pray to your angels. Make sure that they keep you safe and well and protected. And don't go digging too deep, because you might find some things that are not good for you. And that was my story. And I'm very glad I shared it now. And if you have had similar experiences, please let me know. It would be nice to discuss these things. And thank you for listening. Bye.